Hey everybody, welcome back to microbeerreviews.com. So I recently did a video on Mickey's fine malt liquor, and it dawned on me, I have never done a video, nor have I really done any extensive research on what is malt liquor. What is it? Because honestly, it's beer. But why do they call it malt liquor? Well, Mickey's is just one example. This beer's been around since 1962. If you look online and you look up things like Old English 800, Colt 45, etc., they're all malt liquors. But what is a malt liquor? So let's answer that question. So a malt liquor, by definition, is a alcoholic beverage with 5 or more percent ABVs, which is typically brewed with malted barley. It says they are typically, these are higher in sugar, corn concentration, along with the malted barley, which boosts the overall fermented sugars in the wort. It gives it a boost of final alcohol concentration without creating a sweeter or heavier taste. So the barley is the key content to a malt liquor, as opposed to, say, a hop is to an IPA. These malt liquors are not heavily hopped, and therefore they're not very bitter. They're more on the sweeter / corn and barley derivatives. So the other thing I thought was really cool about this is that typically they're straw or amber in color, so they're not very dark. They're very typically very filtered, and again they're a lighter-ish color in flavored beer. Again, the main ingredients is barley, water, and hops, and they are typically less expensive to make when they add on the back end the corn, the rice, and the dextrose. The other thing about this I thought was really interesting is it says when they use those back end, the corn, rice, and dextrose, they create special enzymes that result in a higher percent of alcohol, higher on average for beers with that ingredients profile. So there's a lot of history behind the marketing of malt beers, the production of them. It talks about how in the early 1990s, the 40 ounce or the 40 bottle became very popular within some of the music scenes, and then the malt industry at the time also exploded, not necessarily because of the liquid, but because of the relation it had to some of the popular music at the time. It also talks a lot about the history of the different breweries. Again, I mentioned Old English 800, Colt 45, and Mickey's are the top 3 who have maintained a presence in a very small market for an extremely long time. And again, it's kudos to them. It's not an extremely expensive beer to produce, and again, their marketing as such was really ingrained within certain genres 20 plus 30, even 30 plus years ago, and are still to this day in 2021 supporting the brand. So it's a really cool concept as far as you don't have to keep things super fancy. Now I have to give kudos to Mickey's. Out of the top 3 I mentioned, they by far, in my opinion, have the coolest marketing. The green glass, the bottle cap underneath with the puzzles and things like that. But again, they're extremely economical for people to purchase, and it definitely has a little bit more bang for your buck if you don't have a need for the hoppier side of a beer, but like the lager side with a little bit more sweetness. So I hope that helps. It was a little bit longer video than I wanted, but I definitely wanted to answer what is a malt liquor. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. hit the like button if you like the video, or if you like Mickey's or any of the malt liquor beers. Appreciate you watching, and as always, we will see you again real soon. Cheers.